Alright, hello everyone! We are live and welcome to Chronology, the show where we take a video game series and we tear it apart and figure out the timeline order of how to play them and how everything goes. So, the first we have with us Shelby, who's helping,
Hello.
and also joining me again is the lovely Grant.
Hi.
Alright, so let's dive right into this. So basically, for anybody who doesn't know, Assassin's Creed is the half stealth, free roaming, parkouring game that's partially our open world. I'm sure most people out there have played it. It's one of the biggest game series, especially of last generation and going into this one. If there's anything else should I say about it, guys?
That's about it, I
Um,
think.
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
covers it. Basically, okay, so as most of us know, if you're going into Assassin's Creed, one of the things I need to lay out there to kind of help us figure out this chronology and how we're going to go about it. There is the past stuff, but there's also the present stuff. So basically, anything that went on in the past, that was kind of the order of things, but unless it contradicted something in the present. So, for example, Rogue takes place technically after 4 in the past, but because of the Animus and present day stuff, 4 comes after because they actually mention things in other games. So, um, so I guess we could get right into it. So let's see here. I have the picture to kind of show people. Go with this one. Alright, so let me full screen this. So this is basically the chronology, and this is the image I created up. I'm going in a zigzag order. First we have Altair's Chronicles, then Assassin's Creed, Bloodlines, then the short video Lineage, Assassin's Creed 2, but this 2 is a little complicated because it's split in half by Discovery. Then after 2 it goes Ascendance, Brotherhood, Revelations, Embers, China, then Liberation, then Pirates, Rogue, 3, Black Flag, which is 4, the great and everyone knows Unity, Chronicles India, which is not out yet, Syndicate, and then Russia, which is also not out yet. We will go into that and we will help explain exactly how all that fits in. So let's get into it. So basically, as we said, we'll start off in chronological order here. The first one is Altair's Chronicle. So for most people, they probably played 1 first. I mean, that's what we all know. But Altair Chronicles takes place a few years before. Shelby, do you know the exact year?
Let me see. No, I don't know the exact year. I just know he was sent to retrieve a chalice from the Crusaders and Saracens or something. Let me see. I'll see if I can find it real
Okay.
quick.
So basically, the game came out originally on Nintendo DS back in 2008, and it is now also available on iOS, Windows Phone. It's also on Android, which is what I played it as. I think they just call it Assassin's Creed on Android for some reason though. Yeah, that's what I played it on. It's basically the whole, and you'll see this kind of style pop up again and again, where it's like a 2.5D type game. You have some stuff where it's like a top-down ISO view, but other things that are side-scrolling, uh, stealth kind of action stuff. Very similar to old Prince of Persia games. They're fun little games to have if you're on the go for sure. But basically, the whole point of this, the whole story is basically kind of giving you a little bit of insight to Altair before all the Animus stuff when they went back. Uh, is there anything you guys have to
Uh,
add to that?
it says the year it placed was 1190 AD was the year,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm
Right.
not sure how long before that was from the
Well,
Assassin's Creed
there's an
1 game.
easy way to find that one out. Let's see here. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Well, anyways, after that would go, of course, Assassin's Creed 1. I'm trying to find the year that is supposed to take place. Well, Shelby, you try and do that while
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will I will talk.
Okay.
So Assassin's Creed 1, which is available on PS3, 360, and PC, PS3, 360. I don't think it's on anything else that I know of. I'm sure there might be available somehow on PS4 in some weird fashion at PlayStation Now or something. But basically, this was the first game in the series. This is what introduced you to Animus and Desmond, which is the other half of the story, which we are basing a lot of stuff off of. So from there, excuse me for a second. Okay.
Okay, so it said for Assassin's Creed it's 11,191.
Okay, so it's just a year before.
Yeah.
I thought it was a couple years. My bad, but I knew it was before. It's been a while since I've played that game. I probably haven't played that game in like 4 years. But Assassin's Creed, Grant, do you have a good way to explain Assassin's Creed 1?
Which part?
The whole, just kind of give us a summary.
All right. In it, you start off as a bartender who gets kidnapped by
Yes.
Templars.
Desmond Miles, also known as Nolan North.
He is strapped into a machine that takes him to his ancestors' past, and he more or less lives. Has to go through his ancestors' past in order to find something that the Templars are looking for.
Right, which I believe was the Apple of Eden, they called it?
Yes,
Yeah.
they were trying to find the location of it.
Right. That's what, the modern day Templars. And there, you meet, what is her name? I had it at the tip of my tongue and then I lost it.
Um,
Kristen Bell's character. It is. I know I had it. I feel kind of bad for this one, but Lucy.
I win.
Lucy Stillman.
yeah.
Did you get it? Lucy
I got it off the top of my head. I win.
Oh, you did? Okay. I hear you. I wish I would have been paying attention to you. All right. So basically, yeah, Lucy, who is okay. So at this point in time, yeah, Lucy is working for the Templars, but she is secretly trying to help Desmond get out of there, and that's where half the story. But the other half is still Altair, and they're trying to find the Apple of Eden. So, and eventually he does, and he ends up fighting his master. His master basically at the beginning of the game condemns him kind of, and he has to build his way back up into the assassin ranks. He was known as this great assassin, but eventually he finds out that
yeah, he kind of became a dick to his fellow assassins.
Was totally a dick. I believe I don't know how to pronounce. I can't remember how to say his name.
Mustafar, isn't that?
No,
that's
Malim. Alamin. It's been a while.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, he strips his rank and everything, but eventually builds back up. And it was the Apple Eden, which a lot of the games take place for like the pieces of Eden and everything.
Yeah.
Go a little bit into that as we go along. So basically, there's that. Figure it out, and Desmond is still trying to figure out his way out of there by the end, but he's starting to get his assassin powers. Like, he's starting to realize who he is and who his heritage is.
At the very end, he can see blood and stuff.
Yes.
Messages written on
right
walls.
From previous ones. So
the end.
Right. So that would take us now to Bloodlines, which Bloodlines was a PSP game that takes place a couple years after with Altair.
Yeah. He pretty much tries to go kill the rest of the Templars.
Yeah, I wish I could say that this game was on something else other than PSP, though. I mean, it played really well on there. It had a very similar play style to the rest of the Assassin's Creed games. It just toned down a little bit because it was on a handheld and only had one stick. But uh, it's definitely a fun game. Uh, do you have anything else to add story wise, Shelby?
He kills the new Templar Grandmaster in this
Right.
game, and he ends up re-meeting Maria, which I don't remember who Maria is.
I
Is that the one who he knocks up?
Um,
I don't think so, but I could be
I
wrong on that
don't
one.
know. Like it just said that in the research I did that he met up with Maria and they kind of she helped him like hunt down Templars and they also they went to Cyprus, Syprus.
Hmm.
That's where they went to hunt down these Templars, and they went and they also discovered the archive content that
Yeah, it's
was there. It
right.
was
It's
taken.
Maria Thorpe, and she is in Assassin's Creed. I remember playing Bloodlines like right after I played Assassin's Creed, and I think she's a very minor character in the first one. I could be wrong, but I do not remember her much.
Yeah, I don't
She's
remember a
part
lot.
part of the Templar not the Templar. She's part of the envoy though with Richard, I think.
Okay.
But she is actually she's in disguise in the first one as a Templar.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so
But they discovered the archive content that was there has been taken. That they figured that out at the end. Um, but that's pretty much it. It's just kind of killed more Templars and
yeah, I mean it's a lot of the stuff. Yeah, it's kind of same. Go around, scale buildings,
yeah.
look around, and spin around and find stuff. Um, but anyways, next we go into Lineage, which is a short video that you can easily find on YouTube. It's pretty good from what I've seen. I watched the whole thing probably twice, but um, Shelby, can you give us a little bit of an intro to that?
Um, all I really know is it kind of goes over a little bit with Ezio's father, and
Oh, right, it's Ezio's father, and it deals with
kind of he's an assassin and kind of goes over
right,
what he's been doing.
yeah, and Ezio's a kid, and you kind of get to see a little bit of his lineage. Also, if I remember correctly, it has to do with um, Borgia before he becomes Pope and dealing with all that stuff.
Yeah, he's getting information on him. That's
Hmm.
what I believe.
And you kind of get to see a little bit of his rise to power. I mean, it's a short film. It's all live action. Um, it's actually done really. It is done really, really well for a short live action video based off a video game. Like all the actors in it are, they reprise their role. Like if they're in the game, that's the actors that played them in the game. So they all like look just like of course they do. So yeah, it's a fun little video. You kind of just
Yeah,
see.
it's only 36 minutes. That's what
Yeah,
it says.
yeah, it's not very long, but yeah, it's a cool little video. Watch it if you're doing the chronological order, if you get the chance. But that would lead us, of course, into Assassin's Creed 2, which a lot of people love Assassin's Creed 2. There's some people that even consider it maybe the best one.
It's definitely a lot better than the first one.
Um, I okay, a little bit of a tangent. I like Altair a little bit better than Ezio, but we'll go into that. I just think Altair is just more of a straight up badass. Where Ezio, he's a womanizer a little bit. He is stereotypical Italian.
Was.
Oh yeah, it was. At least he's still a little bit later too. Don't lie. But let's see. Assassin's Creed 2 is on PS3, 360, Windows. Um, it is also available on Xbox One as well. So, uh, but anyway, so kind of basically it starts off with Ezio is a teenager Yeah, you get to see his like womanizing and everything. But
Yep.
With
oh,
Yeah, you
yeah,
can
go ahead,
clearly
Grant.
see that.
You take this one.
well, I'm just saying with Amerigo Vespucci's cousin.
Right, right, right.
It's
Also, you get to meet Mario. Was it Vettore?
yeah.
Uh,
I know we're screwing up a lot of these names because they're like Muslim or really Italian or something, and I apologize. But
let's see, let's see.
It's weird because,
Mario
as you can see, none of us are
Auditore.
white
Yeah,
or anything.
Auditore. Yeah, I was right. Okay. Um, but anyway, so it kind of continues the main thing. Though, can he swim? Ezio can swim, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that was actually might
Not
have been the
a.
biggest like thing from the
Yeah.
first one because Altair can't swim. He just can't do it.
Yep.
I think they even might mention that in Revelations, but I could be wrong.
I
They
think
probably.
Um, but anyways, so Grant or Shelby, explain kind of the summary of that game.
Well, pretty much Ezio, like in the beginning, like we were saying, you kind of get to see him as a teenager. He's a womanizer. He's, just being a normal teenager, not doing anything assassin related. His dad, which we talked about in Lineage, um, he is an assassin, but he really doesn't tell any of the family, except Ezio's older brother is also, I believe he is an assassin as well, who just became an assassin. Um, and what ends up happening is when Ezio's away at one point, he comes home and finds his two brothers, he's youngest, oldest, and his father have been taken, captured, thrown in prison, accused of, I don't remember what they were accused of, but
conspiring against the Pope or something. I
yeah,
don't know.
probably that. So he ends up trying to, help them escape, uh, get to the right connections to help them get out. Doesn't work, and they all get hanged. Um, he Ezio, being a tries he gets angry. He wants revenge, so he takes over his father's job as an assassin and tries to find out who is behind the hanging, and he has to help his mother and sister escape.
Right.
But you guys can go a little bit more into detail. I just know.
Do we really need to?
Nah,
I don't think so.
really not.
Like
I
it's
think
kind
I
of
covered most of the bases of that. So,
yeah.
okay, um, so I mean, so two you go. Well, the thing is like we said, two is split in half.
Mm-hmm.
Though with Discovery and what was it
It's
between
sequence 12 and
12 and
13,
13? Yeah.
which yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, it's DLC you can get. It originally was part of the game, and I think now, like, if you get like for the Xbox One, you were saying, it's probably included with it. But it's sequence 12 and 13 is for Discovery between
Right.
that time.
So wait. Well, okay. So let's kind of clarify that. Is Discovery? Did they make that into DLC?
Uh, Not Discovery. It was the sequence 12 and 13.
Right. Well, that's Battle of Forley, and there's also Bonfire of the Vanities
Yeah.
DLC.
At some point,
But
they took it out. Like on one of the games, they took that sequence out.
right. But so the Discovery is kind of along the same lines as like Altair Chronicles, with the 2.5D, some side scrolling, some kind of a little bit top down ish type of gameplay. It was available on DS and it's also on iOS. I don't think it came out for anything else, but it takes place in between sequence 12 and sequence 13.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, not really too much to add. I don't know if you can add anything more to that. I mean, it's
It's
pretty simple straightforward game, like more just killing and stuff. But on your
it's
DS,
pretty much him following. The main thing for Ezio is he went to go find out maybe a little bit more about the Apple of Eden, and he just pretty much rescues tons of assassins because he
Right.
feels like it's his duty.
Which of course, so that leads us back to 2, and we kind of summarize most of that. So go into next would be Ascendance,
Mhm.
which I actually just watched, but pretty much it's kind of to help link that and Brotherhood. I'm trying to think of how the best way to explain that. Do you have anything for that, Shelby?
It tells the backstory of the rise to power of Caesar Borgia. It's like Ezio talking to a shadowed figure in a cloak, in which you
Right.
find out it's Leonardo.
Uh-huh.
But it's just pretty much you finding out who the main bad guy is in Brotherhood.
Right, which is
Kinda.
Caesar.
Yes,
Caesar.
Caesar.
Yeah. So, well, cause okay, so I mean, it's a short. I think it was like 15 minutes, pretty quick. It's just to. Okay, 13 minutes and 32 seconds. Anyways, so that brings us into Brotherhood, which Grant, you want to go into Brotherhood a little bit?
What's the actual plot to Brotherhood? I can't even remember.
Can you remember? It's been a while.
Yeah, it was just. I thought it was just Ezio building up the assassin.
Yeah, I mean that is the. I think the main thing is building up the new Brotherhood of assassins.
And
Sure.
killing. Oh yeah, that's right. And killing off the Borgia. That was
Right, he's going after the Borgia.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. The main thing was just kind of building up the assassins.
Something that we did forget about though in all this is all the Desmond stuff.
Yeah,
I know that's the thing about Assassin's Creed. So there's in Assassin's Creed 2, what happens with Desmond?
He escapes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty much the main thing. Well, and then so like Discovery doesn't have any of that stuff. It only seems to be the main series that has any of the Desmond present day stuff.
Yeah.
So the numbered ones. So well, there's also Brotherhood, which can you explain what happens with Desmond in Brotherhood?
Let's see. I'm looking at it right now. Wait. Is this where he finds out there's like a spy in their little group of friends? Is that this one?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yeah, that's where they find out that there's someone going in there. We'll be nice and we won't say who, but basically there's a spy in the mix. They find out who it is. Shit goes down.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember. Because I played Brotherhood and Revelations like so close to each other.
Yeah.
Which one is the one where we find out about Juno? Is that Brotherhood or is that Revelations?
That is the very end of Brotherhood. Yeah.
Thought so. So that brings us into the whole new timeline or story of that. So we'll get into that as we get further along. But basically, we have Brotherhood, and it goes right into Revelations. So Revelations is kind of the aftermath of Brotherhood. But also the cool thing about Revelations is Ezio is now older. So you continue that, but you also have segments where you play as Altair again. Because if I remember correctly.
Yeah, funny enough, it's a flashback in a flashback.
It's a flashback within a flashback, yeah, because Ezio is hunting down, like, Altair story, basically. Wait, what was that, Grant?
I thought he got it through Pieces of Eden that
they're still going. Of course, they're going
behind because he figured out how to create them.
Hmm. Uh, so, wait, so yeah, you're going through all that stuff, and then Shelby, you got a little bit more to go into depth with that.
Um, um, Not really. I like pretty much that whole game series kind of blurred together for me.
Yeah, like two Brotherhood and Revelations almost feel like the same game. I mean, that's part of that.
Yeah.
That is the Ezio like trilogy right there.
Um,
It's very very closely related, and as you play through them, yeah, it will blend together. It's almost like how like Lord of the Rings, like it kind of seems like one movie a lot of times. Like anything like that, it does a really good job of that though. They pick up right after each other.
yeah. Well, I do. For the memories for Altair, actually, I won't even mention it in case people want to play it. So never mind.
Not go for it.
Like, okay. Well, it shows like some of his memories. Altair does get married and have, I think, maybe two sons. And it does reveal that his wife's passed away and his youngest son has passed away. And kind of it goes into depth like what happens
Yeah,
to
I mean,
Altair, which is a good thing. I like that about the Revelations because it kind of gives a close to Altair
yeah,
that it didn't
right.
before.
Right, that's a nice. Yeah, it is a nice thing about
He's not a
Revelations.
dick
It is.
anymore, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the third Altair game. Well, not really third. I guess be fourth technically in this, but it's really the second main Altair game.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it does give a very finite closing to Altair all the way up until his death. Um,
Yeah.
you get to see like pretty much the rest of his life, like segmented out. But which,
Which they find his corpse.
yes,
That's,
they do. Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert. We're probably gonna have spoilers on this show. We are
yeah.
talking about the stories and how they're all connected. So, okay, so that brings us into, well, yeah, Embers, which
Hmm.
is the ending of basically giving us closure to Ezio and his life.
Yep.
So, which it's a, oh, I forgot to say Revelations, what it is available on. Let's see here. Revelations is on PS3, 360, and PC. It is not on anything else. I thought it would be, but I guess not. Um. Anyways, so we go into Embers, which is the closing. It is a another short film. Assassin's Creed loves doing short films. Uh, it's kind of it's a CGI film. The art style is kind of reminiscent of the Clone Wars a little bit. It's kind of brushstrokey and
Yeah.
everything, kind of similar to that. Uh, Actually, it does bring us into the next game, which is something I didn't know because I haven't played the other game really yet. I've only
Yeah.
seen about it. It didn't click until we talked about this a little before. Um, Go ahead, Shelby. I'm sure you want to be the one to reveal it.
Okay. So Ezio ends up getting married and having some children, and he kind of has retired on the countryside as an assassin.
Yeah, he's out on
And
like a
one
farm.
day, yeah, and a stranger appears, and it is our actually next game, our next assassin, like Joe said. It's from Assassin's Creed China, um, Xiao Jun? Xiao
That
Jun?
was
Is
June.
that how you say her name?
I want to say yes.
Okay, Xiaozhong appears and comes
Xiao
to
Jun.
Ezio. Xiaozhong? Well, she comes to Ezio to kind of seek knowledge of his life as an assassin, get advice with everything that's going on with her life. And she stays, and he really wants her to leave because he knows trouble always follows assassins. But it kind of goes over. She stays and reads his kind of like diary. Like he writes everything down that he's been through, and he kind of talks to her about what it's like to be an assassin, and of course trouble follows her. And Ezio sends his family away for a while, and he helps her take care of the problem. And he, at the very end, after training her a little bit, he gives her a box and says, you may use this one day if you lose your way, and he sends her away after that. So he kind of gave her advice, and at the very end, you see Ezio get reunited with his family, and he's watching them, and he passes away at the end.
Old Greybeard.
And he leaves a note for them as well.
Okay, so he said he left her a box. What was in the box?
There was nothing in the box. I'm gonna spoil it there. I read it.
Well, anyway, yeah, there's nothing in the box. But so that would lead us into, of course, our next game, Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, which actually just came out this year. It is kind of a return to that 2.5D style game, like in Ultitled Chronicles and Discovery and whatnot. But it's available on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. It's a pretty neat game. It's part of the new Chronicles series, which will go. There's 3 games in it, but this is the first one that is out, and it takes place a couple years after Embers. Exactly 2 years.
Yep.
Basically, it was after meeting Ezio. She's on a quest for vengeance against the Templars to restore the fallen Brotherhood in China. Pretty straightforward story there. I can't go too far in depth because I have yet to play it. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on it, but that would lead us though into the next one, which is Liberation, if I am reading that correctly.
Yes.
And actually, the one person who has played this the most is Grant. So you might have given us a slight rundown of Liberation, at least up to the part. I know you haven't finished it yet, but
honestly, there's not much of a plot in that one.
Well, kind of give us a slight breakdown though of what's going on.
At least as far as I played. Well, you start off as a little girl in New Orleans. In, I don't know the year. Someone will have to throw that out for me.
That's a great question. I know it's like 65.
Right around the time that, Assassin's Creed 3 takes place. Or later.
Roughly.
A
little bit before.
She gets separated from her mother and then is raised by her dad and stepmom or whatever. It's a weird relationship. So,
also, just to clarify, her name is Aveline. Of course.
Yes.
The Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Grand Prix. Maybe it is. I don't
I
know.
don't know if I'm Grand Prix. Maybe I'm not sure on the pronunciation, but she's French and African.
Yes.
Mixed.
She's
down on the bayou.
Her mother is a Templar. She learns how to be an assassin from this witch doctor in the swamp, and that's pretty much all I know, really. I mean.
All right. So it takes place a little bit before 3. You have any connections going into?
Oh.
Go for it, Shelby.
There is some DLC, which I found out, and it's called Connor Way. And it's after you connect your Vita to the PlayStation 4, it gives you a memory for Aveline. Yeah, I know. And pretty much what happens is Aveline goes to New York to get some more insight of the identity of the company man, and she meets Connor. And they just, kind of talk and chat, and Connor kind of leads her to where she needs to go, and then he says goodbye. Pretty much that's what happens. She takes care of business, and he's like, good job. You're a good assassin. And they become close friends, and actually there's more DLC we'll talk about with both of them kind of interacting, and I'll mention that later.
Right.
But there you go.
Yeah, so there's Liberation. which we'll go into the next one. Pirates. Mind you, so far, besides the Ezio stuff, like and the Assassin's Creed One, there's no present day stuff with Desmond. So like Pirates is a pretty much it's a game. It's just on smartphones and tablets. I forgot.
Vampire.
Liberation is on Vita, PS3, and PC. I don't think it's on anything else. Uh, Let me double check on that one. Oh, it's on 360 as well. My bad. But the HD collection, which they did a great revision of it, going from the Vita up to the consoles, they add a lot more stuff. It is very pretty and very well done. Very good step up from the Vita. Though the Vita game is a great looking Vita game. If you have a Vita and you don't have it, and you have a Vita for some weird reason, get that game. Yeah, like it's one of the few really good games on there to get. Hey, my mom won't let me donate. Hope you are doing well. I haven't been paying attention to Jack. Hey, Viking Tech, what up? Sorry, I got a lot of stuff up on my other monitors, just trying to figure all this stuff out. So basically, that brings us to Pirates. And I had it up, and now I lost it, of course. But it takes place roughly around the same time. I don't think it doesn't have like a specific date in it, but you follow the pirate Alonso Batilla. Batillier? I don't know. He's a French pirate. Is he French? Or he's Spanish?
Do
Attila.
pirate things.
But he's a pirate, yeah. And he holds the key to find the treasure of the French pirate, La Bousse. La Bousse. Again, all these names. I'm probably butchering it.
Definitely.
Oh, I am. Well, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, it's for mobile games. We haven't gotten to this game yet in timeline, but it came out after Assassin's Creed 4, and it's basically most of the game is done in the style of the Navy sea battles in 4. And it has like the ships and how you rank them up and everything. For a mobile game, I will say, it is very pretty. But yeah, it's a little more strategic. But it's a fun little game for side. Not too much connecting story, but it's there. It's part of the series. So we'll just move on really quick off of that one and go to Rogue. So Shelby, you're the only person who's played Rogue here, so go for it.
Oh gosh. Okay. It follows a assassin named Shay, and pretty much he's just a normal assassin in the beginning, doing assassin things, and he learned too much information. I forget what it was over. Something kind of like the Apple of Eden, but not something important. And so pretty much the assassins try to take him out, and he ends up getting washed up, and a couple takes him in. He really kind of doesn't remember who he is, like what he did as an assassin, and some Templars take him in and train him, and which he does what they say, and he takes out these assassins he thinks that are horrible, which they kind of were. They did. They were the kind of corrupted assassins he was taking out, and but you end up actually interacting with what's Connor's dad's name?
Oh, Hatham.
Hatham. You interact with him. You kind of hear the assassins kind of mock him a little bit because he is the son of Edward, and they're like, your dad would be ashamed of for what you're doing right now.
Well, we'll get into that.
A Templar.
Yeah, he's a Templar, basically.
He is a Templar. And that's pretty much it. And there is some present day stuff, but it's not Desmond. It's just a random worker.
Right.
and you just kind of hear them, kind of hint that hey, we're actually Templars and we hate the assassins. And they kind of make references of how some other games and how certain assassins aren't good to follow in memories, and that's really it.
Hmm. Which
Oh,
so
oh, yeah, I
go ahead.
almost forgot something. But you can go, Joe.
No, I was gonna say so. But I know Rogue and Liberation are kind of in the same thing, and we'll go into 4. But 4 is like this too. You're playing kind of like it's set up. You're at a you're at a studio, game studio, right?
Yeah.
Who is
Liberation is it's just like a game that Abstergo put out.
right at Abstergo Studios, yeah. Um, that is making video games based off of. It's very meta on Ubisoft's part, but yeah, you're playing a game and you're like helping go through the memories for them to make the
Hmm.
games based off of these people's memories. So uh, yeah, very mind blowing. But actually, I don't know in Liberation. I don't think they actually mentioned that. So it's not until later. Unless it's at the end, we don't know. Again, Grant hasn't finished it yet, but
Fallout 4 came out. Took
yeah, Fallout
precedence.
4 came out, and that kind of ruined it. But anyway, so we're dating this episode. Anyways, so after Rogue comes.
Wait, there's one more thing at
Oh,
Rogue.
go for it. Go for it.
At the very end, the last thing Shay does, he ends up killing, I think it's the French minister, who is actually the dad of Arno, who is the main assassin in Unity.
Right.
And if you guys ever play Rogue, which we hope you do, you'll see it kind of goes slow motion on this child, and that's him. Like it freezes a little bit on him, and I never realized why they did that. I was like, okay, yeah, I took this kid's father away, whatever. But now I know. I was like, oh. So that's how Rogue and Unity are connected.
Right. And of course, they have Hatham, which brings us to Assassin's Creed 3, which you start off as Hatham for a little bit, but you end up most of the game playing as his son, Connor, uh, who is his bastard son from a Native American woman. Uh, and his whole family ends up getting killed, and basically the whole thing is a teenager pissed off and wanting to get revenge, and he is being mentored by um, this old African American man. I don't know if was he Cajun? Can't remember.
No,
I don't
No,
think
he's
he
not
was.
Cajun.
he was
But anyway, so
African.
it takes the story of Connor, and it takes place mostly in the Massachusetts area.
Hmm.
And it also introduces us to boat battles, which is a great game.
Yes.
It's available on PS3, 360, Wii U, and PC. I don't think it is on anything else. I will double check on that. But
Also,
go for it.
his teacher, who was African American, I forgot to mention this, he was in Rogue as a younger assassin,
Right.
and Shay actually shot him in the leg. That's why he had a cane, right? Like,
Right.
That's why
Yeah.
he's got
yeah,
Okay.
he's the one who injured him to the point he couldn't be an assassin anymore.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we got to see that
which I
connection.
thought was cool.
Uh, so yeah,
And then there's Desmond, the Desmond's part.
yeah, we go now. We actually get into really hardcore Desmond stuff back again. But going a little bit Connor in that backstory, it all takes place around. It's all based around the American Revolution. Uh, and you'll see now again putting this here in 4. We'll explain why 4 should come after 3 in timeline. No, technically 4's stuff takes place before 3's in the past stuff. But again, we'll explain it. So go ahead. Go ahead and explain the Desmond stuff. It is kind of like him coming to a head with the Templars and all that stuff. Go ahead, Grant. You got it.
Yeah.
In it, certain things happen, and you go around the world, and
Right.
you're finding. I can't. Does he actually find more pieces of Eden, or is it just other artifacts? I can't.
I know it's artifacts. I don't remember if pieces of Eden.
I think it was just pieces to the door. Like, it wasn't, like,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Well, a lot of the stuff though, it's leading up to they're trying to disrupt apparently the world is going to be destroyed.
yeah.
Right, because the 2012 prophecy. Bull-
Right, but apparently it has to do with like Juno and the ancient
Yeah.
people.
Yes. Yes.
Which that's another part of the story that's really off the kind of weird and off the wall that a lot of people kind of always forget about. But they had Junos Race is like I forget it's something like 50,000 or something years old or something, but it got totally obliterated. It might even be older.
It got blown
Um,
up.
yeah, they got blown up, and I forget why.
The
They
sun.
displeased the gods. I don't know. Something
No, the
stupid.
sun. I think it had to do with solar flares or
Yeah, it
something.
might have
Yeah,
been
I
solar
think it
flare.
was. Yeah.
Oh, and they created something. They were trying to create something to block
Prevent.
prevent
Mhm.
it, yeah, from happening. But I guess it wasn't successful. But that's what they were trying to do.
No, they didn't finish it in time. Was the
Right,
problem?
that's what it was. Yeah, they didn't finish it in time, but that is what they were trying to fix or get together, get working, or whatever in 3.
Yeah.
Which with this game uh, ends up being the end of the line for Desmond's story. Uh, and I won't go into depth of what happens, but yeah, it's the end of his line. So, and this is what brings us into uh, 4, and this is why because there's mentionings of they have video and stuff in the lab and audio clippings and everything. If you go around the computers and everything in the labs
Hack 'em.
in Abstergo of what happened. So if you haven't played 3 yet and you want to, however, 4 would ruin some of the stuff that happened in
Mhm.
3. It's been
Yeah.
all the
I
Desmond stuff.
haven't gotten past that part yet.
So, but okay, let's give us a little bit of Assassin's Creed 4. It's on a lot of systems
Yeah.
because of the
It's a
switchover.
really good game.
It is a
It's
very good game. It is the best pirate game out there. I will say it straight up. If you
Yep.
want a good pirate action game out there, Assassin's Creed 4 is the best one. I mean, even if you don't care about Assassin's Creed that much, granted, if you're watching this, you probably do. Um, play that. But it's on 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, PC, Wii U. It's pretty much on everything. That's even somewhat modern. But it is Edward Kenway, who is the father of Hatham, being the grandfather of Connor. Or has any of us have? We're gonna totally butcher, so I'm not even gonna try to say his Native American name. Ratten. Nope, not doing it. All right. But yeah, it's all takes place in the Caribbean or Caribbean, depending on your pronunciation. It's all during the golden age of piracy, and he is actually just a merchant originally in it,
Yep.
and
His life has gone horrible.
his life has gone horrible. He gets shipwrecked by assassins attacking his ship, and he ends up taking the assassins like clothes and everything. He's like not even really. I mean, but he's not really an assassin at
And pretty
first.
much all the assassins know as soon as they see him, like, you're not an assassin.
Uh, yeah, it's a fantastic game. If you want to go a little bit more into the story, Shelby or Grant?
Like I said, I haven't gotten this far.
Oh, you haven't got that far.
I don't
Okay.
even
Oh.
want to start. I
Go
don't
ahead,
want to
Shelby.
listen anymore.
Well, I'll just give a brief thing. Like Joe said, he steals assassin garments, and he kind of just not try to make a name himself. He just becomes a pirate. He uses the gear to take care of stuff. He ends up meeting some of the assassins. They knew instantly that he was not an assassin, and they were pissed at him.
But he eventually gains their trust.
Yeah, he has to gain his trust, and he does a lot of the missions, assassin missions, for them to gain their trust back, for using their gear. And he ends up meeting one of my favorite side of assassins, and I can't think of the name they went by in the beginning. You know who I'm talking about.
I actually do not remember either.
Oh,
Um,
Does Grant
I
remember?
actually do know that one, but I can't think of it.
um,
Anyway, so okay, so
but
4. I'll try and think of it, or you look it up, Shelby. Well, basically all the modern day stuff, like you get to see in the game studio that like their previous game was Liberation that they made. That was their big success before. And yeah, you are actually working for. You end up working for Desmond's crew. That's who you actually are. You're like there to get information and stuff and send it back to Desmond's crew, and you'll see them periodically throughout the stuff in the modern day game. They show up and grab information and stuff from you. And basically, yeah, you're at this weird quasi almost Ubisoft studio. It's in Montreal and everything.
just a second.
I think you have
Let's
it.
see here. Uh,
But yeah, you're like supposed to be like a new.
oh, as Edward, your main thing is looking for the observatory. That's like the main thing he wants to find is the observatory. I almost forgot about. And he kind of does anything he can to find the location about it, even if it kind of goes against the assassins. He wants to find it. I don't even know what the reason why was. He's just obsessed with it. Let me see if I find the name. Uh,
Think you got it.
no.
Yeah. But all right, just to keep this going, if you find it or whatever, we'll come back. But after that would come Unity, which of course takes place during the French Revolution stuff in France. Uh, it is on Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and it follows the story of Arno Dorian, who is the kid from Rogue at the end, and a lot of it is it's kind of in some ways isn't it a little bit like Brotherhood, like you have to build up like a crew and everything. I think. Uh, Actually, yeah. Apparently, it began right as Brotherhood stopped development. But anyway, so this is like a new game, so we're trying to basically utilize next gen console technology, and we all know all the glitches and everything. I mean, I've heard it's a decent game as long as you get past that. Oh, they try for
Didn't they
like there's.
fix it all yet?
I think it's all fixed now, for the most
Oh,
part.
no, I want to play it.
Well, yeah, you have a
On PC, I'll
PS4 now.
play it.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't. Never mind. You can't. I'm sorry.
What?
What?
Get it on PC. I said.
Oh yeah, Shelby can't play on PC.
Shut
But yes,
up.
it is on PC.
I can't believe, like everywhere I've looked, I have not found.
You can't find it. But anyways, I mean, yeah, it basically takes place during Paris, and I don't know any really off the top of my head any of the other connections between it and everything else. Uh, but yeah, it takes place during that, and basically that would bring us to, and again, it's still pretty brand new, so we're not gonna go too far in depth with that one. Uh,
Oh, we forgot to mention the DLC for
oh, right. Uh, 3 and 4, right?
there's no really DLC for 3.
Okay. Well,
That
Freedom Cry
wasn't.
for
It was
4.
just like, yeah, a Freedom Cry for 4, and then also we have DLC for uh, Alina.
Oh, Aveline?
Aveline, also for Assassin's Creed 4.
Right. Yeah, that's right. She
Uh,
isn't DLC.
Aveline for the Assassin's Creed 4. She ends up traveling to Rhode Island on the request of Connor, which, because they're close friends, to locate Patient Gibbs, an escaped slave, to recruit her for the Assassin Order. And Patient doesn't really want to join, and she ends up getting captured, and then Aveline has to go save her, and then I think Patient joins at the end. But it's just her kind of trying to recruit somebody to join. And Connor thought she would be the best person to go do this mission. And that was it.
All right.
And then Freedom Cry, I thought Grant would go over it, so.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, dang it.
You don't. Oh shit. Let's see here. Let's see. It's summary. Basically, you're trying to capture like a Templar ship off the coast of Haiti. I'm trying to see here. Okay. No, it sounds cool, but I'm not seeing any connections between anything else.
it's a new assassin. It's not
Right.
Edward. It's Ottawa. He's shipwrecked. He
Ottawa.
established. Yeah, Ottawa. He establishes the Templars are working with Bastine. I hate these names.
Yeah, Bastine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it was a new assassin. It was someone like he was in Black Flags. You meet him at one point. Edward talks to him, and you get to play him in Freedom Cry if you wanted to. So it just kind of gave you some more backstory of some missions he did.
Alrighty. Basically, we're gonna try and wrap this up here really quick. So basically, next would be Assassin's Creed Chronicles India, which is not out yet. But it will. It's basically it's supposed to be out here in next year, I believe. They haven't actually. I guess they don't have an official date yet, but it's the next one in the Chronicle series. It takes place in 1841, so a little bit after Unity, but not quite the Syndicate yet. Um, but basically, it's in midst of the war between the Silk Empire and the East India Company, and basically it's set 2 years after the events of the graphic novel Assassin's Creed Brahmin, which technically Brahmin would go here as well, but we're most focusing on the games and the videos that threw those in there because they're pretty short. But and then next would be Syndicate, which just came out. Do we know any of the connections and anything of that yet?
No, I did not see anything when that.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything yet, but we know, yeah, it takes place there. We kind of didn't want to spoil it for anybody or even ourselves, so. But yeah, it would take place next, and then the other game that they have announced is Chronicles Russia, which I just had it up. God damn it! So basically, it's takes place in between actually the Fall and the Chain graphic novels. It follows Nikolai Orlov. It's set in 1918, so a little bit after Syndicate. And again, all the Chronicles games take place in that 2.5D style. So it's going to follow along those lines. So, and that brings us to the end of the chronology of Assassin's Creed. Basically, that's the order you want to play in timeline order. I mean, if you wanted to, like, really, like, basically give you a breakdown, like, Altair Chronicles, not super important to the story or anything. It's just a little tidbit of, like, Altair before Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed 1, I'd say if you're going to go with for the story, super important because it gives you the breakdown of Desmond and him. Bloodlines, again, it's not really super important, and they
It's
don't
just
really.
something you could do if you want to be more
Right.
Altair.
Yeah, it's more Altair, who's a badass. But in correlation to the other ones, it's not super connective. We'll go Assassin's Creed 2 is definitely a must. You can get your hands on it and play it. Discovery, not so important. Again, it's just a little tidbit in here. And everyone loves Ezio, so there's always more Ezio. But Ascendance, I wouldn't say is really a must watch. It's a nice little thing to connect with Brotherhood. But Brotherhood and Revelations are definitely very important to the main series. I'd say actually Revelations even more so because it gives you that. Actually, well, Brotherhood more so for the modern day stuff than the past
Yeah.
stuff because the modern day storyline is very important there. Revelations is important most, I would say, more in the past storyline because you get the closure of Altair. Um, Embers is actually pretty important because it links Revelations to China. It's a quick little video, but also gives you that nice closure of Ezio as well. Uh, China, as far as I know, it's not super important, but if you really enjoy the 2.5D style gameplay, go for it. I mean, I've heard it's good. I've heard it's really good, actually. So, uh, Liberation. Grant, are you frozen or just smiling? I
I
think he's
guess.
frozen.
I
Okay,
don't know what to
there
do
you are.
about that.
Okay. Um, but Liberation, um, if you have the DLC for 4, definitely a must play. But otherwise, I wouldn't say it's not necessary to the whole series. Um, but it's a good game. Pirates, not really necessary. It's just more fun stuff with the ships and
Mhm.
everything. Rogue, what would you say? Shelby be important? Sounds really
Um,
important, actually.
I feel like it was very important with the
Because it
past stuff because it
correlates.
does connect to other
Unity.
games. It connects to
Yeah, it
Unity. It
connects a
does
lot.
connect to yeah, SS3,
Yeah,
SS4. It is
4 and
important.
Unity.
It's just very
Yeah, it's
subtle
very
about it.
important. Yeah, you might not even realize it until you get to the other games. You're like, wait,
It's like
I
this
remember this.
kid. Who is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, 3 is very, very important because, especially the modern day stuff, but also um, it connect. And there's a lot of connections even in the past. Connor is a very important character and everything. And his dad. And then 4 definitely very important as well. Pretty much if it's numbered, it's for sure important.
Mhm.
Um, Unity. This is where it gets fuzzy, but I'm gonna say probably really important, especially after Rogue. Um, and then India's not out yet, so we can't say. Syndicate just came out. I heard it's a great game. I've heard it's better than Unity, so there is that going for it. And then
Probably not that
there's
hard.
Russia. We don't really know anything about that yet. So, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. You can follow me at Lemon Merchant One on Twitter. Thank you, Shelby, for being my co-host basically for this and all your Assassin's Creed knowledge. And then Grant, thank you for joining as well and adding a little bit here and there.
All right.
Uh, and again, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you liked. I'm going to be trying to do this more. I don't know what the next series is yet. It's a little bit of an undertaking doing research for these. So, hope you enjoyed and have a good night.
And Red Grid.